Shabbat Shalom. Welcome, family. Today, I have a lot that I wanted to discuss with you all to the house of Yasharal. Okay. I want to first share a dream that I had on November 6th of last year. After I share my dream, we're going to go over some scriptures. It's going to be a little touchy with some people, so pray about it. Seek the Most High about it to see what our Father Yahuwah has to say about all this, okay? To confirm what I'm saying. So I'm going to read my dream now. So I dreamt that some of the men of Yasharal of Israel were being lured by and mating with sirens, producing hybrid children. These sirens were scouting for the men of Yasharal specifically. The men didn't know what was going on, so they was oblivious to what was going on. These entities wanted someone in their image in human form with the chosen seed, which is, the men of Yasharal. I had a feeling the men didn't know that this was happening to them, and I think they were hypnotized by their sounds. So it was something that they were putting off that was making the men hypnotized. Okay. So this is serious. So a couple months back, I saw there was something on social media going out about a Caucasian woman who was sharing with her sister, I think it was her sister and a sister friend or something, of how to catch a man, a so-called black man, an athlete at that, to reel them in, to make them their husbands. Okay. So y'all might, I don't know, you want to check it out. Maybe you don't, who knows? Okay. It doesn't matter. But anyways, this, woman was schooling this young girl, how to get a so-called black athlete. Okay. I didn't think about it then when I saw it, but I thought about it later. And I was like, wait a minute. That's just like, my dream came to my mind, and I was like, it's kind of as if this woman has like a spirit of that siren, trying to reel these men in, and these men not knowing what's going on. And it's like, I know that they see and hear, what these women are doing, but it doesn't even matter to them. It doesn't register. It's like they're hypnotized, just like I was saying in my dream, And so I'm seeing a lot of things that's going on in this world where a lot of our men are being lured by these women, these strangers, okay? Strangers, meaning men and women who's not of the house of Yasharal, that we were commanded not to intermarry with them, okay? We were told that we shouldn't assimilate with the strangers, these people of other nations, these Gentiles, okay? And we all seen what's been going on with the young man, Nolan Wells, where he was with his friends on the 4th of July on a boat, and ended up going to an island with some friends, and he did not come back alive. Okay. Friends came back, but he did not, and he was unalive. Okay. But this isn't the only incident where it happened this way. There's coming out stories of, young men and women, or men and women of Yasharal, who has gone with strangers, and they were the only so-called melanated so-called black ones that went with them and didn't come back alive. Okay. Anything pertaining to water I see, or going in the woods hunting with them, a lot of our people are not coming back, and they're gone. Okay. So something's up. And I believe that the Most High is allowing these things to happen because a lot of our people are so blind. They have Stockholm syndrome, and it's like they don't care. They are oblivious to what's going on around them. They make excuses, saying people are racist. They're being hateful when we try to warn them. Okay? But I see the Most High is allowing this stuff to happen so that some people will wake up, and there was people that's waking up, and there's some that's still ignorant, still don't care, just feel like, well, everybody's not that way. Why would you have that type of mindset? Because obviously these people trusted the ones who are unalive. They trusted these people thinking that they were their friends, and come to find out they weren't. So we need to have the mindset where you are not innocent to proven guilty. You're guilty until proven innocent. We shouldn't trust these people like that. And yes, I know we have people within our own community who are some monsters, who will, stab you in the back, murder, whatever. But you need to go in with the mindset of really not having that trust in other people of other nations who don't look like you. Don't put your trust in them like that. We should be cautious with anybody, whether it's our own people, but you especially need to be cautious when you are with these people of other nations, because they hate us. They don't like us. They have a deep-rooted hatred in them for us. They have a perpetual hatred towards us. That's deep. And we don't need to ignore that. We don't need to take that lightly. We need to think, have hagma, wisdom, when we're dealing with people, specifically those of other nations, those Gentiles. Okay? So I'm going to read some scriptures. And we're going to see what the Most High says about all of this. Okay? So I am going to read first Deuteronomy 7, 6 through 26. Okay. So that's Deuteronomy 7, 6 through 26. And it reads, "For you are a set apart or a holy people to Yahuwah your Elohah. Yahuwah your Elohah has chosen you to be a people for himself, a treasured possession above all the peoples on the face of the earth. Yahuwah did not set his love on you, nor chose you because you were more numerous than any other people, for you were the least of all peoples. But because of Yahuwah's loving you, but because of Yahuwah loving you, and because of him guarding the oath which he swore to your fathers, Yahuwah has brought you out with a strong hand and ransomed you from the house of bondage, from the hand of Pharaoh, sovereign of Mitzrayim, which is Egypt. And you shall know that Yahuwah your Elohah, he is Elohah, the trustworthy, all guarding covenant and loving commitment for 1,000 generations with those who love him and those who guard his commands, but repaying those who hate him to their face to destroy them. He does not delay to do so with him who hates him. He repays him to his face. And you shall guard the command and the laws and the right rulings which I command you today, to do them. And it shall be because you hear these right rulings and shall guard and do them, that Yahuwah your Allah shall guard you, shall guard with you the covenant and the loving commitment which he swore to your fathers, and shall love you and bless you and increase you, and shall bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain and your new wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the offspring of your flock, in the land of which he swore to your fathers to give you. And these are when you follow his commandments. Blessed are you above all peoples. There is not going to be a barren man or a barren woman among you or among your livestock. And Yahuwah shall turn away from you all sickness and put on you none of the evil diseases of Mitzrayim which you have known, but he shall put them on all those who hate you. And you shall consume all the peoples whom Yahuwah your Allah is delivering over to you. Your eyes shall not pardon them. Listen to this. And do not serve their mighty ones, for that is a snare to you. When you say in your heart, these nations are greater than I am unable to drive them out. Do not be afraid of them. Remember well that Yahuwah your Allah did to Pharaoh and to all Mitzrayim. The great trials which your eyes saw, and the signs and wonders, the strong hand and the outstretched arm by which Yahuwah your Allah brought you out. Yahuwah your Allah does so to all the peoples of whom you are afraid. And Yahuwah your Allah also sends the hornet among them until those who are left, who conceal themselves from you, are destroyed. Do not be afraid of them, for Yahuwah your Allah, the great and awesome all, is in your midst. And Yahuwah your Allah shall drive out those nations before you little by little. You are not allowed to destroy them at once, lest the beasts of the field become too numerous for you. And Yahuwah your Allah shall deliver them over to you and destroy them with a great destruction until they are consumed. And he shall give their sovereigns into your hand, and you shall destroy their name from under the heavens. No one is going to be able to stand against you until you have destroyed them. The carved images of their mighty ones you are to burn with fire. Do not covet the silver or gold that is on them, nor take it for themselves, because a lot of our people, they covet the things of the other nations now, lest you be snared by it, for it is an abomination to Yahuwah your Allah. And do not bring an abomination into your house, lest you be accursed like it. Utterly loathe it and utterly hate it, for it is accursed. Keep that in mind. Okay. So the next one we're going to go to is Deuteronomy 26, 16 through 19. Okay. So Deuteronomy 26, 16 through 19. And it says, today Yahuwah your Allah is commanding you to do these laws and right rulings, and you shall guard and do them with all your heart and with all your being. You have today caused Yahuwah to proclaim to be your Allah, and to walk in his ways and guard his laws and his commands and his right rulings, and to obey his voice. And Yahuwah has caused you to proclaim today to be to be his people, a treasured possession, as he has spoken to you, and to guard all his commands, so as to set you high above all nations, which he has made for praise and for a name and for esteem, and for you to be a set apart people to Yahuwah your Allah, as he has spoken. So we shouldn't even be wrapped up with these other people, assimilating to their culture, their ways, their religions. No, we should not. Okay. All through this book, the Bible, it tells you that we are to be set apart. It tells you that we are to be set apart from the other people, these Gentiles. We shouldn't follow their ways. We are supposed to follow the ways of Yahweh, okay? We need to be walking the ancient path, okay? And a lot of our people today, they are not. They are wrapped up in these people religions, thinking that they're serving the Most High, and they're not. They're not serving him. They're not being obedient to him. They're saying that his law, statutes, and commandments are done away with, and it's not. So next, we're going to go to Ezekiel 39, 25 through 29. Ezekiel 39, 25 through 29. And it says, therefore, thus saith the Master Yahweh. And hold on, I want to read this because there's some people that's going to say, you know, when I read Deuteronomy, that, oh, they were disobedient to the Most High. He is, you know, he has done away with them. They're no longer his people. They're no longer his chosen people. So I'm going to read this. Okay. And this will maybe make you think, for those who say that we're no longer his chosen people. Therefore, thus saith the Master Yahweh, now I am going to bring back the captives of Yaakov, which is Jacob, and I shall have compassion on all the house of Yasharal, and shall be jealous for my set apart name. And they shall have borne their shame, and all their trespass they committed against me, when they dwell safely in their own land, with none to make them afraid. When I have brought them back from the peoples and gathered them out of the lands of their enemies, and I shall be set apart in them before the eyes of many nations. And they shall know that I am Yahweh, their Elohim, who sent them into exile among the nations, and then gathered them back to their own land and left none of them behind. So none of us is going to be behind. And no longer do I conceal my face from them, for I shall have poured out my Ruach, my spirit, on the house of Yasharal, declares the Master Yahweh. So this saying that he's going to gather us back into our own land. Okay? So the people that's sitting there in modern day Israel, they are fighting against their enemies. But here it's saying that when I have brought them back from the peoples and gathered them out of the lands of their enemies, and I shall be set apart in their eyes set apart in them before the eyes of many nations. Hold on. I think I went too far. Where was I needing to go? Hold on. Give me a moment. Oh, here it goes. And they shall have borne their shame and all their trespass they committed against me, when they dwell safely in their own land. That's a clue right there. He said that when he gathered us back into our land, we're going to dwell safely. Them people there, they're not in modern day Israel. So you know that they're not the people. They're the people that was described in Revelations 2:9 and Revelations 3:9. Okay. So that's for those who say that we're no longer the chosen people, and that, you know, like, it's just, he just don't have nothing to do with us no more. And plus, when you read Revelations, you see that those 144,000 was not no Gentiles. They were each from the 12 tribes of Yasharal. Okay. So now let's go to last one. Matthew 15, 21 through 28. Aha. So for those who talking about, oh, you just reading the Old Testament. So Matthew 15, 21 through 28 reads, and Yahusha went out from there and withdrew to the parts of Zor and Zidon, and see, a woman of Canaan came from those borders and cried out to him, saying, have compassion on me, O Master, son of Daoud, which is David. my daughter is badly demon possessed. But he did not answer her a word. Why didn't he? And his taught ones came and asked him, saying, send her away, because she cries after us. And he answering said, I was not sent except to the lost sheep of the house of Yasharal. But she came and was bowing to him, saying, Master, help me. And he answering said, it is not good to take the children's bread, children is the children of Yasharal, and throw it to the little dogs. Wow. But she said, yes, master, for even the little dogs eat the crumbs which fall from the master's table. And Yahusha answering said to her, O woman, your belief is great. Let it be to you as you desire. And her daughter was healed from that hour. So that woman knew her place. She knew the order of things. She knew by her being a Gentile that she was to come humbly before Yahusha. And she came with humility. She didn't come out boasting and stuff like these other people, these Gentiles are doing today. She knew her place. And you saw how Yahusha didn't even answer her at first. Why didn't he? Because, I'm trying to see how I'm going to put this. The Yahudim, which is what they would call Jews, today, they weren't fooling with the Gentiles like that, because we are to be set apart from them. They can become a snare to us, you guys. Okay? And we see that going on today. Our people are unrecognizable. We're not the same people we were before. We have started to cleave and follow the ways of the Gentiles, and it has polluted us. Our people, a lot of us are defiled, okay, because we follow the ways of the heathens. But and that's why we were commanded not to assimilate with them, not to cleave to them, because they'll become a snare to us, and we will start following their ways instead of following the Most High and worshiping him in spirit and in truth. The Christianity, it's paganism and a bit of the word. That's all that is with all these religions, really. I can't just single out Christianity. We have to follow what the word says, what our Father says. Okay? And you see Yahusha, he wasn't like, oh child, come to me. No, because they didn't deal with the Gentiles like that. Because they were set apart from them. And that's how we should be today. It didn't change. People think that when Yahusha died for our sins, that we're including everyone. Yeah, the Gentiles have, they could come in, and cleave, but they have to cleave to the house of Yasharal. You can't boast against the natural branches. You can't just sit there and say, oh, well, because they messed up, I'm here now, because it's spiritual now. That's not even biblical. There's no spiritual Israel. There's a real and true Israel. Okay. That's, blood-born. So, hey, but these churches, they try to say that Israel, Yasharal is, that we're no longer his chosen people. And they trying to say that the chosen people are the ones that sit in modern day Israel, and that is not true. All right, so that's all I have. Just wanted to come on here quickly and do a little video to kind of address this. Please pray about this. We're not to marry these people. We're not to cleave to them. They're supposed to cleave to us. We shouldn't be trusting of them. Okay. We have to practice and have wisdom and what I'm trying to say, wisdom and discernment when we're dealing with them. Okay, yes, we need that with our people, yes, of anyone, but we especially need to have wisdom and discernment when we are dealing with these heathens, because they have a deep-rooted hatred for us. And for anyone that's marrying these people, these are the children of those who put our people in bondage and did us very bad. I don't even know why you would want to go there, but they made it to where they just don't care. And it's like they are hypnotized. So, I don't know, y'all. Our people we really need to stand up for us who have been awakened, and pray for our people that they just wake up out of the slumber that they're in. They're just sleep, spiritually sleep. They're just sleep. And it's heartbreaking. It's a shame that all of these things that's going on that they see, and they still just don't care. That just goes to show that they are in a sleeping state. Okay. Alrighty, you all. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Like I said, please pray about it. Go to the Most High Yah with it, and get confirmation from Him. Whatever questions that you have, please share this video with others. That a lot of people of Yasharal need to see this, because a lot of our people are losing their lives because of their trust in these people. And not only that, spiritual death, because they are going against the Most High Yah command, that we shouldn't be married to these people. We shouldn't be cleaving to these people and thinking, oh, they're our friends, and oh, they treat me better than my own people. That's just a lie from the pit of hell. Okay? They are good actors, I tell you that. And sometimes they don't even know what's really in their hearts until a situation comes up. Like, I had a friend for I think we were friends for 20 years before I stopped talking to her, and I found out who she really was. So friends with her for 20 years, a little over 20 years. And then when I discovered who we are and I shared it with her, well, actually she came to me with it and was saying that it was demonic, that it was evil. So when I went through scripture with her and, was talking to her about it, she didn't want to see the truth. She didn't say, oh, let me pray about it. She didn't say anything. She just was like, well, maybe. She couldn't give no kind of proof as to show how these people, the people that's in modern day Israel, is really the people. She couldn't give nothing. I gave her receipts. She couldn't give them back to me. All she could say was maybe. And that showed me right there what was in her heart. And I know that some of her people, she said, was racist. But right there, just because you saying that, oh, I'm your friend and I don't agree with my racist family members, that should have told me something right there when she first told me that. But then I started thinking about some things that she would say, and I was like, wow, yeah, it was there. I just didn't see it. And that's what's going on with our people. These people that they're friends with, these heathens, they conceal what's in their hearts, and we are unaware of it. So we got to wake up, people. We have to just prefer one another, be there for one another, love one another. Okay. I know that we're challenging to love, some of us, but we have to love each other. Okay. Remember, Yahushua was telling us, he was trying to tell us, because he knew how we were. He know how we are. They were like that before. And when you go back and look at the curses of Deuteronomy 28, it shows you that we were going to be hostile towards one another, that the men were going to turn their backs away from the women, and the women the men. That was already said. The Most High said that that was going to happen. Do you see them people in modern day Israel doing that? No. Those curses fit us. Those curses is a sign showing that we're the people, because we are living in those curses. Our people, our community. Okay. So, okay, that's it. I know I was supposed to stop before, but that's it. That's all I want to say. I love you all. You guys enjoy the rest of your Shabbat. Okay. Shalom, shalom.